Jesus Christ, bro. This episode was absolutely insane. We got so much context for everything, but now I also have so many more questions, and Arlong seems to be probably the worst person or worst thing we've seen so far. He's terrible. So initially, when they were talking about Arlong taking over 20 towns, I assumed he did what he did with the last town, Gosa. And he destroyed it all, killed all the people, and that's bad enough. But that was just an example he was setting, essentially, if any of the towns defiled him. Essentially, what he's doing is he's going to all of these villages, taking them all over and holding them all hostage. Essentially, they're making them pay tribute money to him. So every month they have to pay for their lives, and if they don't, they can't afford it. This includes women, children, everyone. The whole village basically. If they can't afford his tribute money, if they can't afford to pay him, he just destroys it. He kills everybody there, and that was his example with Ghost Village. That's where that kid's from. The kid from the last episode that came out and said he was going to kill Arlong because he murdered his dad. That's what happens if they can't pay him this tribute money. So essentially, Arlong's holding all of these towns and these people under under ransom, pretty much. It's all just for power. He wants to create an Arlong empire. He wants to rule over the East Blue, and the way he's doing it is by taking over these towns and just forcing these people to live in fear forever, and have to essentially give up their livelihood to this guy just so they can live. It's awful. And there's a guy in Kokoyashi village, which is the village that Nami and this Nojiko girl is from, which I'll get to later. That essentially owns a weapon, and it looks like it's to rebel against Arlong. So he comes down and he essentially makes an example out of him, and he literally is about to kill him if Usopp didn't stop him. Even owning a weapon or doing anything like that is enough for Arlong to come down and potentially kill you. In that last village, the last town that he flipped upside down and he destroyed, it was because one person rebelled against him. So he's not above just killing everybody if anyone has like a problem with him. But the only reason he doesn't just kill everyone is because, like I said, he's holding them ransom. It's all for money. This dude is the biggest piece of shit so far, and I feel like we're only just scratching the surface of what Arlong is really about. But yeah, this guy is terrible. We also got the big reveal of Nami not really being on Arlong's side. Well, she is technically, sort of, but she's not like part of Arlong's gang or whatever. She is working with him or working for him essentially to try and buy her village, Kokoyashi village. She's trying to make 100 million berries, and I guess they've made a deal where if she does that, if she gets 100 million berries for him, then he'll leave the village alone. Would he? I don't think so. Like, I just don't believe him. Like, I think he'll take the money and then continue to rule over the village. He just seems like that kind of guy. I don't think he would hold up his end of the bargain, but who knows? But that's what Nami's doing. There were some signs here and there that she wasn't really working for him, like when she was saying on the boat that she hopes her and Luffy and everybody else meet again. And then when she jumped in to save Zoro, who like pretended to off himself essentially, but just to prove that, he saw that Nami is really on their side. Because Arlong said she will forget about her own parents' death when it comes to money, and you can see her eyes just sort of like glaze over, like she's furious. So this dude is obviously like ruling over her, and it's terrible. She's in a horrible situation right now, obviously working for this person, and I can only assume that Arlong caused her parents' death or her foster parent, because yeah, this Nojiko, the girl with the blue hair in this episode, happens to be Nami's adopted sister, and their foster parent is dead as well. And you can see at the end of the episode, Nami at the foster parents, who I assume is the foster parent's grave, putting flowers there and saying, only 7 million berries to go, and then I can pay off the debt to the village. I can pay Arlong to buy the village. So there's so much stuff happening right now, bro. Like this arc is going to be great. We're 2 episodes in, and this arc is already like insane. And I can't imagine the pressure that Nami's feeling right now. She's essentially got a whole village, this village she grew up in, on her back. And she can save it potentially, and that's why she's doing what she's doing. How she ended up in this situation, I have no idea. It's something I suppose we'll find out eventually. There's one thing One Piece is amazing at, is telling these backstories, and these giving us context as to why every part of the world or every character works like they do. So I'm sure we will get context about that eventually, and I'm sure it'll be tragic and and awful. But yeah, no, I can't imagine the immense pressure that Nami's under right now. Like I said in the last video, I feel like we're in for a crazy emotional ride with this arc. There's so much potential in it, so I'm really excited about that. And now Zoro is currently waiting for Arlong to return from Kokoyashi Village because Nami freed him. I don't know what he's thinking. He could be in a lot of trouble there. We'll have to see because this Arlong dude seems very strong. He's not just terrible, but he's obviously very strong. He picked up a fucking house. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the dude he doesn't play. And we saw at the end of the episode that Luffy, Sanji, and Yosuke are heading straight towards Arlong Park or Kokoyashi Village to get Nami back. On the back of Momu, which is hilarious, who they beat the shit out of at the beginning of the episode, which I felt quite bad about, but, you know, is what it is. But yeah, everything's heading towards Arlong Park right now. Everything's like about to happen. And I don't know how long it's going to take for them to get there, but when they do, shit's going to pop off. And yeah, wow, this arc is going to be crazy. I can feel it.